Hello everyone, so I'm trying something new again today, and this is what I'm calling my Sketchbox Holiday Box Dupe, because I was thinking about getting the holiday box for 2022. However, when I realized I already have a few of the supplies included in it, such as these little items, I thought, oh, I don't know, I don't need any more of those. And then I also already have many things that are similar to what was included. So I thought, why don't I try to put together a box, and I'll just buy a couple of things that were in the box that I don't have that I really would like to have, such as the silver brush set, and the gouache is right in here. And I bought, now I couldn't get the smaller size in open stock. I got these, I believe, on Dick Blick, and the Holbein gouache I have recently discovered in a Sketchbox, I think, or somewhere, and I really liked it. And then I really liked the ash green color that comes in the box, and I think it was gray one, and then also sepia. So I picked up these three and the set of silver brush brushes from Dick Blick. And then the other thing that I will pop on at the end of here that I don't have yet, it's supposed to come today because I forgot to, I didn't find it on Dick Blick, but I did find a similar item on Amazon, was some, I think it's by Brusho, and they're wax resist crayons, so I wanted to try those. But what does come in the holiday box is the Tombow ABT Pro P856, which is, I think it's poppy red, I can't remember, but this came in, I believe, December of 2021. Also a Sketchbox, so I have that. And then the Derwent ChromaFlow pencils were that also came in that same December 2021 Sketchbox in white and scarlet, or identical to what was included in the holiday box. So that was sort of the deal breaker there, just because even though that's not a whole lot of value that's duplicated, I just didn't, I have too many, you know, I want to use what I have. And so this is my attempt to use what I have. So I had two options. They got a nice sketchbook in the holiday box, and this is from a previous Sketchbox, the Hahnemühle watercolor paper, so I thought I'd swatch some of these out on it. And then I might just do, let me take a piece off here, and you can pause and look at those details if you'd like. And I also have this little sketchbook. Do you see the little rooster there? That's the only thing you can tell. It's the same Hahnemühle brand, and I think I picked this up in Germany once, and so I don't know that it has identifying information, and I don't think I kept it as to the kind of paper. Oh, here's a little orca that I did with the splash park. Anyway, so obviously I've been using this sketchbook, but I thought I might do a little, this is gouache though, that, and then might do some kind of art in here on the sketchbook. And some of the other dupes here, we'll go ahead and swatch out a little bit of the, this is Scarlet, the Derwent ChromaFlow pencil. I'm just going to write Derwent so you can kind of see that. And then we have a white one also, which, you know, it doesn't, it's whatever. I don't know what to say. The Tombow one, this is an alcohol marker, which is interesting that it came with, you know, these supplies in the actual holiday box. And this is P856. I do believe it is called Poppy Red, but I'd have to go back into my little Sketchbox notebook to make sure. I'm gonna open up the brushes. I think I have sort of partially opened this, so you don't have to watch it forever. So these are not inexpensive. I think it was probably a 28 or roughly $28 value, something like that, in the Sketchbox Holiday Box. I don't remember because I just looked at a little. And I don't remember, but it was definitely more than 20 on Blick. Between 20 and 30, maybe 28, something like that. Some water here. I'm just gonna dip them in and get the sizing off there. And my water container isn't super clean. And I have a little item from a previous Sketchbox also. Messed up my... Set those right there. Oh, and it comes with an 8 round, a 10 round, and a 6 round. Is that right? You know what? That's interesting, because on here it says it's supposed to be a number 10 bright on the box. I am not sure why. This is definitely round. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to look into that. That's crazy. But, you know, that's okay. I think a bright is more of like a flat. I have... What's this? This is a flat, 1/2 inch. So I'm not really sure what the difference is. But tell me in the comments if you know. That's not in... This is a different brush. But anyway, let me just squeeze these out so we can get a look at the gouache. So the idea is, you know, inspiration to get creating and use the stuff. That's the main idea here. Add a little bit of water here and go straight on. This is a beautiful green color. I'm just pulling it out a little bit, and I'll just go ahead and write in the paintbrush ash green. And then this is the gray one. And I honestly don't remember if it was gray. There was like gray 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Correct me if it wasn't 1 in the holiday box and you have the box or know of that, but that's the one I bought. So hopefully it's a good comparison. And we also have sepia. And I didn't have any of these colors. I think that's fairly obvious, or else I wouldn't have bought them, I guess. But they seemed like nice colors to add to my collection. There was a while back a Sketchbox where we got a few Holbein gouache colors and kind of floral colors, and I've really enjoyed them. So that, oops, maybe I want to write sepia on there, yeah. Oops, too much water, but that's good enough there. And I will also see what they look like together, but I want to, before moving on, show you my other alternatives here. Now, they had a fine liner set in the holiday box also, and I have tons of fine liners, but of course when I went to go find some for comparison, couldn't find any fine liners. I know I've gotten a set of these Marabou fine liners before. The only one that actually says what number it is this one here, 0.2. I think one of, yeah, this one, actually I can barely tell it says 0.4, but it's completely wiped off. But let me just show you what 0.2 looks like. And then this one we're going to call 0.4, and you have to trust me on that. Maybe yeah, you really can't see it on camera, and and then I can't see anything on this cap at all, but I believe it's a little bit bigger, so I don't even want to know. I don't know. Is it bigger or is it the same? I'm not 100% sure on that, but I have, you don't need a ton of fine liners. So there, I have some fine liners, and they are water resistant when dry. I think they're permanent when dry. These, well, actually, I'm not sure about that. But here, this one definitely moves around. That's interesting because, you know, and that was the one without the number, right? Okay. I'm just gonna put this one out of the mix. Totally different. It's a Marabou fine liner, but this clearly must not be permanent. Because, you know, look at that. Well, that's good to know. I hope you're following me because I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but I've got 2 black fine liners. Now, another thing that came in the set that I don't really have an exact comp for were some, I believe it was Stettler metallic markers, and I have lots of little metallic markers. Oops. So I went through and I tried to find something similar, and I think they had a white, a red, a blue, a gold, and not a silver, but there was a silver ink in the holiday box. So here's my Recollections Gold. This one I thought looked the most similar to what came in the box. It's a nice and juicy one still. It hasn't dried out. And let's see. I think it moves around a little bit, but if you want to mix it for this Recollections one, you want to do it before putting it on the paper. And then this, I don't even, oh, this is a Brea Reese metallic pen in cadmium red. This is not very juicy. So it's a little bit dried out, but I think it was most similar. It doesn't move around much, but maybe it will on the plastic. So I don't know, that one's not a very good comp. And then I have another Recollections in Ocean. And that's a pretty juicy. These Recollections ones do pretty well. I mean, they're not new. I've had them a long time. Years. We're talking years, people. So, good job with those two. And the silver I thought I could maybe use to approximate the ink. I thought I had some silver ink or something. I couldn't find any in my stash, and I didn't really want to buy it. I do have some really beautiful sparkly, it might even be Hero Arts, but it's like a blue ink, so it's not that comparable to what was in the box. And then in our last, I believe it was our last sketch box, we got these 2 cool paint markers. I think they're Kuretake, if I remember correctly. There's a white, and so this is not metallic, it is plain white, but since I don't have any white metallic marker, I thought I'm going to throw it in here to use for little white accents, and the silver's really great too. So maybe that will be my, I kind of think maybe I'm just going to toss that. This will be my substitute for the ink. These are like paint markers though, so it's a little different than what was in the box, but I'm going to try to do a little piece of art with these supplies, and it's sort of my holiday box dupe. So instead of purchasing the holiday box this year, well, I've never bought it, but I thought I'm going to use what I have, and I spent less but got, you know, the brushes and the gouache, and what's coming soon are the wax crayons. I'll show you those before I move on to the piece, but yeah, we'll pop that on here whenever it comes in. Okay, I should have checked the door right before, but these were sitting out there. It's nice and cold. This is the Brusho, excuse me. I kind of thought they'd be bigger. These are tiny, but you get a pack of 5, and I think it's $8 and something. So, yeah. The other one in the holiday box, different brand, but let me just see what these do. And it's just color on there, and then let's do something else, and then bring my gouache back that I moved and see what happens when we put this over the top of it. So this is big time resist here. Obviously you can see where I put that. So I don't know how this exactly compares to the little crayon that came in the holiday box, but I did want to try something like this. And so this could be useful in watercolor, maybe as an alternative to perhaps masking fluid, but you know, this one seems to be pretty solid, although maybe, ooh, I want to try something. Since I've got 5 of them, it can't hurt to open one up and see if it's less solid on its side. Okay, trying to get the wrapper off has turned out to be much more difficult than I would think it would be. So I'm just trying to use light pressure here. And let's go in with our sepia and see what happens there. It's interesting. Not sure what I'm going to do with that, and do I have some paper towel? Here we go. Let's see. So you get, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I would say it's different than masking fluid because you get some of the color going through, sort of a spotty effect. Let me see what happens. Interesting idea for adding texture, and I think if you're more heavy-handed with it, like, I'm afraid I'm going to break the crayon. I probably will break this crayon before too long, because it's a lot thinner than I would think also. Okay, I just drew a little heart, trying to get the extras off. Flakes, let's see. And then I'll just go in. It looks pretty solid there, but not dry yet. Let's see. Let's go in right with the paper towel, and it's going to take some up. But I think I still see some infiltration of the color even beyond. So it is a resist stick, and it does what it says. It resists. It doesn't, whatever the word of keeping it completely off would be. Wonder how it works with alcohol also, and some of these other supplies. So I'm going to do that, and we'll just see what happens. So that's interesting. So I don't know if you can even tell on camera there, but if I tilt it, can you see? It definitely has colored there a little bit if I catch the light. So you can see it. But yeah, it's not keeping the white of the paper. The alcohol's still coloring the wax, but it has an interesting effect there. And let's see about our other little items here. We're just going to do a swipe of the gold, a swipe of the blue, and I'm going to run it with some water. Oh, I didn't even know I could make green so easily. That's interesting. I surprised myself here. So it acts a little bit differently with this. Obviously this is probably a water-based marker here, which I don't know if that's the same as the Stettler or not. I'm going to try one more thing before getting into, hopefully this isn't boring for y'all, but you can always fast forward and get into the art process. Now, hopefully this isn't bad for the paint markers. He doesn't really like writing over that crayon at all, so I'm going to find a scrap paper and make sure my nib is nice and clean before moving up. Oh, shoot, that wasn't good. Nope, nope, I didn't mean to do that. Did you see that? I don't know if it was on camera. Took the whole thing out, didn't I? Yep, so I think my beloved paint pen is okay still. I don't think I want to use it with the wax crayon because, I don't know. I don't want to ruin it. I really like that new paint pen. Alright, that is my swatch sheet. And this is hot pressed, and I think I'm going to do my little art on this. I think it's more of a cold pressed, if I remember correctly, and it has a little bit more texture, so it'll be different. But maybe I'll do a little bit of swatching on here before I get going. And I'll put some music on or something and speed it up and you can have a look. And I hope you're inspired to try a nice little piece of art with the supplies you have. And if you have anything similar or the same from that box, join me and make something. Again, thanks again for watching and have a wonderful creative day. Bye! So, final thoughts here. This is a really cool wax resist item here. Not sure about the whole with the alcohol marker with the gouache kind of watercolor supplies. I don't know how well that worked. I had a little problem with this pen. It went nuts on me. But all in all, this was a fun collection of items to play with, and I encourage you to find some collection of your own that approximates the holiday box, or if you have the holiday box, great. And thanks again for watching. Bye!